Welcome back, one and all. I hope you've had a good 2024. Yeah, it's not been a good one, has it? Yeah, while 2024 in general has not been great, it has had some interesting things like Transformers' 40th anniversary, which, in the grand scheme of things, might not seem like much, but I'm holding on to anything good that I can right now. So, as it has been a little while, okay, a long while, since my last video, I thought I'd try and wrap this year up and start afresh with a little Susan et Tester, little glint of what has come in the last year, which has been relatively good, and this is it. Now then, the rules. As it's my channel and my list and my collection, it's bots or cons I've bought this year from January to December in 2024. I could use anything. Say, for instance, I recently picked up Spin Out from the 2-pack of him and Corden from the Generations line. Just an honourable mention, really quick off the bat, because he's such a great little figure. The colour scheme is bright and vibrant and kind of reminds me of Turbo from GoBots. Now, Hasbro, I'm just saying, whack a brand new head on there, and I'll be quiet for a little bit about GoBots, I promise. Would I lie to you? Don't answer that. The point is, I could have included him this year, as I did pick him up this year, even though he's not an official release of 2024. I'm not going by release dates, I'm not going by the line that it was released in, I'm going by what I personally have picked up January to December. Simple. Now then, shall we commence?
Number 10, Legacy Windsweeper.
Yeah, Legacy Doom and Destruction 2-pack Windsweeper might be a bit of a regular troop builder or a regular background character that fades away, but really, you could bestow that honour to any bot or con that you're not overly familiar with or have very little feeling toward, in my view. Peel away the oniony layers of disgustingness, and the mould and the design really does keep it simple, yet with a cheeky charm with a stern face to offset things, plus with splashes of orange, silver, and those really do help the two-tone balance of the body overall. It's difficult to put into words, but basically, he looks good and he doesn't at the same time. He obviously comes with two rather admittedly bland target masters, trigger cons, whatever. It was a gimmick. It was all gimmicks. Either way, these two little pistols help provide a helpful recreation of the OG Trigger Cons look, and really, the Trigger Cons this year have got a bit more love than I really think they deserve. Now, I know I normally go on a GoBot tangent in previous videos, but where's my Sparkabots? Where's Sizzle? Where's Guzzle? Again, I'm waiting. Alt mode is a absolute pleasure to transform back and forth from, and exactly like his mold mate Needlenose, it's not exactly flawless, but who could ever claim to be, you know? But it's good. It's classic. It's a slice of nostalgia pie, and for some, a great addition to all. Don't think for a second he's not worth anything, because that's a mistake, and that's for sure.
Number 9, Squeeze Play.
Squeeze Play, or Cancer in Japanese markets, is a remold, redeco of the old Titans Return Mind Wipe. And while sadly it does show not exactly a breakout win for the line, really, it's a bright, garish redeco and a piece that speaks to my inner 90s child with a radical, bodacious design, and I can't say no to that. Coming with both a rather strange homage ranged weapon and a blunt melee one too, this kind of is a guilty pleasure for me, kind of like listening to Britney Spears in the middle of Iron Maiden. Again, question if he is worth anything, and you may want to check out the secondary market on Mercari or eBay. He comes with his own Headmaster, Titan Master partner, but thanks to the Titans Return Mini Dragon and Titans Return figure that came with it can be swapped out at random and at your leisure for an alternate look which is not perfectly colour matched, but it works well enough where you don't really notice. The alt mode, yeah, it's going to be a bit strange, but with the legs becoming the arms, gives it a wide range of articulated motion, which really does help with stubby little dwarfy legs, but I'm not going to be complaining about that because it looks so good. It spruces up the whole mold with a little savage monster head, which, yeah, is static, but seriously brings some G.I. Joe vibes to the party. He's again not the, oh gee, golly gosh, father, I must purchase that with my pocket money figure, but it's a figure that speaks to a lot of people from that period of time where they grew up and that was probably their first Transformer, where to me, he deserves a spot on the list. I certainly remember him at my local Ely's toy, gathering dust slowly year after year, very out of reach for my tiny stubby arms, but yeah, I'm glad I got him, and to all the naysayers out there, screw off.
Number 8, Comic Universe, Shockwave.
I, first and foremost, grew up as a comics guy. I grew up after the TV show, but during the Generation 2 reruns, and while the comics were still fairly going strong, and classics being reissued, and Gen 2 also clogging up the shelves, also with the strange European releases. So this deco on the Siege mold, making a rather dull and solid bulky looking body into a vibrant, energized, and overall fun take on the mad scientist type, the deco is the thing that sells it for me. Really, it drags me right back to pocket money, pick and mix, and trying to pick what magazine I'm going to buy that week. Nostalgia bait? Maybe. But Hasbro know them audience, and for the most part, it works. Where you can certainly say there's a few hit or miss, but this, for me, big hit. Big, deep cut hit. The alt mode is it's a space submarine. It's a it's a gun. It's a goddamn mother gun. It's a 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 gun. Yeah, I can't sugarcoat this. Oh, we can't have guns being sold. Your whole premise, Hasbro, is there fight a never-ending war between good and evil. You sell guns with the figures. G.I. Joe has guns. Some Marvel figures have guns. DC Multiverse now sometimes sells guns with their figures. Nerf is a thing. It's a gun. Yeah, hide it all you want, but we know damn well what it is, and we really don't care. Number 8, Shockwave. It deserves the spot.
Number 7, Space Raiders Ferrak.
Okay, now we are starting to get into some serious meat here. I mean real meat and potatoes. Yeah, it's a remold, recolor, redeco of Kingdom Cyclonus. So damn what? It's a great place to start with, and it totally takes it up to an 11. No joke. For such an obscure and underutilized character, he's had a big upgrade here. Yeah. He's had some IDW Editions appearances and had his backstory needlessly grafted onto the whole of Transformers lore, but I don't care. The figure alone sells everything to me. I mean, the head sculpt alone goes so hard, I swear to God, I might actually pull it off and marry it. It's that good. There's not really much to add. The color scheme provides a completely different color palette and vibrance to the figure. The head sculpt, as I just said, makes it pop, and the small little additions to like the wings and the nose cone in alt mode just makes this feel like a chef's kiss of, yeah, we did it, guys. We did it. He might be built on greatness and be more obscure than a lot of the other figures on this list, or even your list, or even on store shelves at the moment. But damn if he doesn't shine like a goddamn diamond.
Number 6, Legacy Devcon.
You know how difficult it was tracking this one figure down? I just ended up breaking down when I saw him on AliExpress and got him for a stupid amount of money, which in the economy right now, which I just said about saving money, yeah, it was stupid, but I really, really wanted him. So yeah, this one figure was so difficult to track down. Please, no judgments. No. Ooh, Temu AliExpress? Ugh, don't judge. I've seen your internet search history. I know what you've looked at. I've seen the Kiss Player fan fictions. Don't you dare judge me, you toy heathen scum. The figure has I do not care vibes. I don't give a shit vibes. It exudes charm and presence and prestige. And it's only a small deluxe figure. The color palette is well balanced and with so much killer greeble and design choices in it, it's pretty hard not to have this on my list because it's just so damn cool. One of those cool design choices is losing the giant goddamn arm lower kibble pieces which came on all the Blur figures. And really, why did we need them? Now, the alt mode might need a little imagination and creativity, but really, it's a space Cybertronian alt mode. It's pretty difficult not to see just a folded up robot, as great as he looks, but if you use some imagination, it carries UK comic vibes. Dan Dare meets 2000 AD, per se. So, yeah, for those reasons alone, he deserves a spot on the list. And yours too.
Number 5. Legacy Evolution Transmetal 2 Megatron.
I am, shockingly enough, not a Beast Wars fan. I love my metal beasties of Generation 1. I don't really give any gravitas or gravitate even towards the CGI Beast Fest of the 90s. But this figure, this fucking figure, this damn giant behemoth of a legend of a figure. This figure has a credit score of 800. This figure won a knitting contest with those stubby little dragon arms. This fucking figure. So basically, if the whole of the Legacy line throughout the 3 incarnations of it was aimed at showcasing the best of the best of the best of a wide variety of lines, while still appealing to both hardcore and niche fans at the same time, while drawing in casual observers and maintaining a big sales turnover for such a wide array of characters, this one works. This figure totally won me over by its sheer presence. The head sculpt, well, both of them. The color scheme, the transformation, the damn complexity, yet beautiful simplicity of how it transforms from a mad Decepticon into a mad dragon. Both modes are equally just as great. It's an orgasm of a double feature where usually one mode wins over the other, but in this case, it's a fight for supremacy in a seriously big way. The articulation is so fun. The Blast Effect add-on is so much fun too, you have no idea. I could gush over this figure and the small little things that I keep finding on it, like the little leg spiky bits that pop off from the side. It truly is a great homage and a totally superior update to a legendary figure. It kind of makes me want to buy the original one too. So for that reason, yeah, it's on the list, and why not?
Plus, I got it for cheap at Ross, so there you go. Bonus savings. Number 4. Studio Series Bumblebee.
Now, hear me out. Do not click off the video. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Just hear me the fuck out. Don't go off from right, you dirty ass Kiss Player crap. Hear me out. Seriously. As one of the few faces of the whole of the Transformers franchise that does jump universes, movies, games, shows, food trucks, Bumblebee can be so overdone. It is a character that's so overblown and overexposed, you really can get tired of seeing him. I get that. But this little figure brings so much needed lifeblood to his name. Sure, go for the movie versions or other versions if you want, like Transformers 1, but the studio series, I think, finally cracked it. But he really is a figure that shines out from a crammed, nostalgia-filled line, especially of huge top-tier characters like Dinobots, Springer, hell, even Optimus Prime this year. This little spunky bot is an after dinner mint on the huge stodge of highly, highly overpriced bots from across all the lines. Studio Series, Legacy, it doesn't matter. He stands out for being how small and inconsequential he could be. The articulation might be a little clunky and people may hate the static head sculpt, but really, we're getting an almost perfect recreation of Bumblebee for a retail price and no parts forming. No parts forming! How can it get any better than that? And if you don't like him, well, guess what? We can always go back to the Pretenders Bumblebee. Do you want the Pretenders Bumblebee? Because you're going to get the Pretenders Bumblebee. The alt mode is a squishy little penny racer, tune accurate to a fault little car, which honestly fills me with such a good feeling I could swear I'm connected to my inner young self again. There's a feng shui rule that says if something does not bring you joy, throw it out. So I'm glad to say this little bug will never be thrown out.
Number 3. Legacy Ruckus.
Those damn Amazon boxes of Doom and Destruction this year have just been great. They really have been, overall, for me, a smashing success. Even the IDW bludgeon that comes with this Ruckus figure in the Doom and Destruction 2-pack really did win me over also, not only with the great redeco, but the head sculpt, which both pays homage to the IDW stories, but also even the Generation 2. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So this deluxe size beige and purple cheeky little chappy with a bright custard face does win me over, just by existing. The Triggercons are a hot commodity this year, it seems. He poses like an utter boss. He has a gimmick which is much more well integrated than Windsweeper's was. Honestly, he has legs for days, and you can transform him with your eyes closed, but not recommend it really. Honestly, his whole design, colour palette choices for both modes, which are distributed again perfectly evenly, just makes me feel like this is the perfect little bundle of Decepticon goodness I could honestly wish for. And I could just leave him by the wayside, but really, why? The alt mode is a spunky little buggy that really does feel like it could rough some really rugged terrain, and it's got rubber tyres! Rubber tyres! It's 2024 and we're back to rubber tyres! You have no idea how happy this makes me. So, Ruckus causing more than a ruckus for the whole of 2024 combined, and looking damn good doing it. Number 2. Studio Series 86 Swoop. I like dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I had Desertion of the Dinobots on VHS as a kid, and it's on the list. I do not care. I don't care. I'm blinded by nostalgia for this figure, and overall, again, it won me over. Yeah, his chest plate doesn't click or lock in, so when you move the arms, it's a bit of a gamble whether you move the whole thing, but I don't care. Just don't touch it. For me, Swoop was a calculated release by Hasbro. They knew how popular this figure and this character was going to be, not just for completing the Dinobots, but for how well-rounded, how well he stand out, how different he was, how difficult it was to find the OG Generation 1 release of this figure, that they saved him till last. As a figure, though, nostalgia aside, for me, he's still pretty damn great. Legs for days, again, a great, well-proportioned robot mode, and such great blues and golds that pop out of that grey. The head sculpt couldn't be more regal if it had Grimlock's crown on from the comic. The alt mode is a brick with wings. What else did anyone expect? What else can you say? It's a brick with wings, but it's a grand brick with some grand wings. So, again, what do you want? There's going to be some compromises for some Transformers always. And because of his size, it was always going to end up being a brick with wings, but it pulls it off so well with so much charm and so much grace that I don't really care if it is a brick. It's a well-presented brick, and it's a brick that I have deep emotional connection to. Not only that, but he comes with an extra sword for Grimlock, so yeah, extra bonus there. Hate on the flying guy all you want. But if you do, he'll impale you with his shiny killer beak, and that's a promise. And number 1. Legacy Deluxe Optimus Prime. So, number 1, Optimus Prime. Could it have been anyone else? Would it have been anyone else? Yeah, your Studio Series, your Masterpiece Jinrais, they're great. But it's not just about being great, especially for someone's personal top 10 list. And this time of year, YouTube's littered with them. So why this one? Simple. It's a nice, tight little figure which does everything correctly, and I can't fault it. Not at all. No joke. No silly voices. It's perfect. And during a year in which we've had more than our fair share and been spoilt by Optimus Prime figures from a range of class sizes, generational gaps, age aims, and consumer quota needs, I guess, this one really does stand out, and yet it doesn't. It sits there neatly on the shelf, very unassuming, just waiting. So it's another non-starter, right? It's another Optimus Prime among a sea of indifference and product mediocrity. No, and here's why. Like I said, he does everything right. He's a banger of a toy, 2 guns, which I imagine are homage or something that I'm missing from the OG toy and cartoon. Matrix of Leadership, which wasn't even a thing back in '84 as a pack-in, and plus the iconic Terry's Chocolate Orange hand axe, which now almost is a checklist requirement with any Optimus Prime toy. So he's pack-in for a deluxe, which tells me more than you'd think it does. In a year where we've had a wide range of deluxe figures which have either not had accurate accessories or not had any accessories at all, or just been overpacked and massively overblown on store shelves, it feels like a lot of time and effort went into this one figure, which again doesn't really stand out. Yeah, I'd really have loved to have found Quake alongside this in the line, or even Quake over this figure, but I'm glad that I got this. He packs a huge range of awesome articulation. His head sculpt has faux light piping of a sort, which is a small burn for anyone expecting to do an awesome photo shoot to show off this really great feature, which is just a homage, really. He's complex yet simple. He uses 80s charm and can not only slide into a more modern collection of bots, but effortlessly slides inside any Generation 1 collection also. It's the 40th anniversary, so why not release a smaller, more affordable mass market release of the big guy that helped carry the franchise to what it is today? A bit too bold of a statement? Maybe. But he was there at the start, and even in Earthspark he is still heavily involved, and with barely a major change in his design over the last 40 years. Let that sink in. As a single deluxe release, even with his array of inclusions and lower price against such heavy hitters as the Studio Series release line, I know it's still a little bit of a weird thing to have him a top 10 list of anything, especially of the year. It's only when you add in everything else that you realize it's not just a figure. It's not just to make money. It's a true homage and a heartfelt love letter. It honors where we've come from, it respects the classic design choices, and not only delivers on an updated version for 2024, but opens the door to mass market release line potential for other characters. Do you want a regular Bumblebee at retail price, design like the original? What about a Wheeljack, a Megatron, Starscream, Shockwave? I could go on forever. Now, I'll understand if you want to click off the video, but I'm dropping everything right now, and I'm going to be completely honest, full disclosure. I was done making videos in the last year. It was time consuming, it was exhausting, and on top of working 40 to 80 hours plus a week at the job that I had, it was too much. It was too much. Trying to spend time with my wife, trying to maintain an Instagram presence, not just for keeping in with the community, but also for my own personal mental health. I was done completely. So in 2019, when I first thought of starting doing this, we was in a good place. Me and my wife had an apartment, things were going great, money was okay. And then in January of 2020, we had a family tragedy and kept on family tragedies. And while everyone was complaining about masks, mandates, vaccines, conspiracies, we were suffering in silence. Transformers and toy collecting in general was an outlet, as you can see by the room behind me, that helped. It really did help. And people will say, well, that's really childish. Why have you not got kids? Why this? Why that? Or the other? Live life by our standards because we don't understand yours. And I don't care. So what is all this personal stuff got to do with the top 10 list or even that Transformers figure, that Optimus Prime, which is just so perfect? We can never really ever truly appreciate what we've had or what we are given after losing anything. No matter the scale, the size of that loss or gain, it's a natural human learning curve, but one that I've learned before, sadly. I appreciate this figure more than any on this list, even though I've got more emotional connection to, say, Swoop, due to me as a kid watching and rewatching that old VHS. To me, this figure really is Transformers as a whole, showing respect, honor, and looking forward to what could be. And looking forward at this time of year is just as a necessity as looking back at the year we have just finished. It should help us learn from our mistakes, help us better prepare for the future, and honestly, just try and be better people overall. And so I'm going to end it here. After completely bumming every last one of you out at the end of this video, Happy New Year! Happy 2025! And we have got a whole lot more Transformers stuff to look at coming up. And you better believe it's maybe not gonna be shit. Oh, motherfucker! Just got done editing obligatory small box video saying thank you at the end of said video. You are welcome. Ugh. 2025 better be bloody good or else I'm gonna move to Alaska